And for all of the concern that Democrats would not have any way to exert power while in the minority, and it is hard, we're seeing that they actually can still play a big role in holding him and his administration accountable. I'm joined now by Pennsylvania Congresswoman Summer Lee, who you just saw earlier, who introduced the subpoena today. She's the ranking member on the Oversight Subcommittee on Federal Law Enforcement. It's great to be here. You've had a hell of a day, so thank you so much for being here. So a lot has happened today, and I just tried to outline it. The full Oversight Committee said is going ahead with the subpoena. What happens next?
Well, next, after Comer signs it, right? He said it. He has to sign it. He signed the one for Maxwell within 24 hours. So he says that we expect it. Then the DOJ has to release those files to the Federal Law Enforcement Ranking Subcommittee, to the minority and majority, and we go from there. But right now, what we asked for were the unredacted, complete files. Aside from the First Amendment, there were other amendments to, try to change the language, to try to give the DOJ a little bit of wiggle room. That failed. They have to give us the complete unredacted files.
Do you have any sense, you may or may not, but for people who are watching who may not have voted for you, may not like me either, how long this could take? Like, how long until the subcommittee might have these files?
So that I don't know the answer to, right? So we know that we're going to be out, right? We're leaving today. They were so hell-bent on making sure that we didn't subpoena them that they canceled session early. So we're gone until, we come back in September. But again, if he's able to move to sign the subpoenas from earlier this week's subcommittee hearings, we expect that he's going to sign these ones just as quickly. And I don't know why they wouldn't be able to give them to us relatively immediately. They exist. They have for a long time. They have them.
So not until September, but you could get them earlier.
We can get them earlier. And the committee could get them earlier. We just won't have any actionable state. But absolutely, why would we not be able to get them?
One of the things I just mentioned is Republicans added, I know you worked with many of them today, but they added subpoenas for people like Bill and Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Loretta Lynch. What do you think that tells us? What is that all about?
We know what it is, right? They are desperate for this narrative that Democrats are trying to protect their own and we're trying to protect our own. But that's what they misunderstand about us, right? At the end of the day, if someone has participated in child sex trafficking, I don't care if they're a prince or a president or if they're anybody in between, they should be held accountable. Democrats aren't saying that, oh, well, we're afraid of who might be on it. No. So them bringing in Bill Clinton right now, it cost us anything if that's what they want to do, right? So again, they were just trying to make this a both sides thing to make up for the fact that they were being hypocrites, that they said that this is what they want. You saw, right? We read off all of the members of the subcommittee who called very publicly for these files to be released. We saw that they ran on this in the last election, from Trump on down to all of his folks. They all ran on this. So they're just trying to distract from the fact that they're being hypocrites, that they know that they're choosing to protect Donald Trump over the very victims that they keep giving lip service to, that they're choosing to protect Donald Trump over transparency for the American people that they're calling for, the very base, and all Americans of all different parties. And that's really what that was about.
I mentioned also there's been a lot of things happen today. You're involved in a lot of them. There's a lot of reporting. So the Wall Street Journal reported today, and the New York Times matched them, that Trump was told by Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, back in May that he appeared multiple times in the Epstein files. We don't know what that looks like or how he appeared. It does tell us maybe why he's freaked out about them being released. There has been a conspiracy theory that there are people from the deep state and lots of Democrats. We don't know who's mentioned, by the way, in these files. Okay. Is that detail giving any Republicans you've been working with, who have been big supporters of Trump, any pause about moving forward with continuing to pursue the subpoena and look at this information?
I can only imagine. They put on a big show about trying to keep us from this moment, a big one. So I'd imagine, that they expect some of their own to be on there. But even still, at the end of the day, I think this has also just been a thing of if, their Lord Trump says no, then they stop, right? If he says jump, then they say how high. And I think that when we talked about, I've been talking earlier about, well, is this a dam breaking moment? And I don't think that it necessarily came from, the Pam Bondi reveal or even, what we were able to do in the subcommittee today. I think it came from the people all over this country. The American people rejected the attention economy. They have so much being thrown at them right now, from the White House, to the reconciliation bill, the tax cuts and Medicaid cuts and SNAP and so much, departments being dismantled, the Supreme Court, all of these things. But yet they chose to keep their attention and their focus on this, not to extract from those other things, to subtract from it. But they chose to keep focused on this because they are tired of being told that there is a secret set of rules for one group of people and something that other people have to live by. So they broke the dam, and that was their base.
That is true. Congresswoman Summerly, I know if things happen, you're going to be on recess. You got to be back with your district. But if you learn more, I hope you'll come back.
We absolutely will.
We will be here all through August. You can come back and visit
We'll be
us.
ready.
Not far. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your time.